Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of the Creatives of Windsor Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Sheridan, and today I'm sitting down with Roxana Rangel from the Instagram blog, My Traveling Backpack. Roxana, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Hello.
Hi. So how's your day going so far?
Good. We've been blessed with a beautiful day today outside, so got to enjoy some, but yeah, having a great day. How about yourself?
Yeah, good. Yeah, me too. You know, spring's here and like getting more inspired to do things, outdoor things and just like creative projects in general.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, let's start with, can you give me and everyone a little background on you and what you do, and we'll go from there.
Amazing. So, hello. I am Roxana Rangel, and I am a travel blogger that focuses on featuring unique experiences and stays here in Windsor, Essex, and also all over the world. My handle is My Traveling Backpack, and it started out because my parents gifted me a big travel backpack for when I did my year abroad in France. And when I did that year abroad, it kind of gave me the travel bug. And here we are 6-7 years later.
Oh, that's awesome. So you did a traveling year abroad in France. How old were you when you did that?
Ooh, I was 19. And when I was 19 when I headed over there, and I turned 20 while I was there. So it was like a start of a decade, a whole new world of experiences was waiting for me. So, and that was my first time ever going to Europe too. So it was like a big deal.
That's super cool. Are you from Windsor originally? Did you grow up here?
I grew up here. Originally, I'm from Venezuela, cool. But I moved to Canada when I was 4, and Windsor was where we moved to. So yes, I guess this is my hometown.
Nice. So you started traveling pretty young then?
Yes.
So you stayed in France the whole year?
Yes.
And then what did you do after that? Did you come back here and then start traveling, or?
So I came back home and I finished my 4th year of uni at Carleton University. And I loved France so much that I decided to go back, and I taught a year of English there. So I was a teaching language assistant in France. So I went back and tried to travel as much as I could while I was on holiday, because French teachers have lots of time off. So yeah, just continued. I moved the hashtag. So when I first went to my year abroad in France, I started the My Traveling Backpack hashtag. So if you check it out, you'll see pictures from 2014, 2015, great throwbacks. And then, when I went back to teach English the second time around, that's when I actually started the My Traveling Backpack Instagram.
Oh, that's cool. Do you still teach now?
No. That was my 1 year stint of teaching. But now I currently work as a team operation specialist for a different company. So My Traveling Backpack is basically my first I want to say it's my first full-time job, but really I have two full-time jobs.
That's cool. So My Traveling Backpack, how it is today, it looks really great. Obviously that's why I asked you to come on, because it looks really good. It's very inspiring. When did you start doing the Windsor component of it?
Yeah, so we moved back to Windsor during COVID. So COVID hit March 2020, and we had just signed on a new 6 months lease to our, we signed on to a 6-month lease to our apartment in Ottawa. And we realized by August, we realized, you know what, let's just move back home. We'll save money. We don't have to live downtown Ottawa anymore. So we moved back to Windsor. Admittedly, it was not my first choice because I loved Ottawa. Ottawa was, for me, it was my adopted hometown. I became who I am in Ottawa. I went to school, I went to university there. So Ottawa is a very special place for me. So moving back to Windsor was an adjustment, and I started to explore doing things in Windsor as my way to really dive into it. I'm a 0 to 100 type of gal. So if we're moving back to Windsor, I'm going through and I'm seeing this all the way.
I love it.
So it would be a year today that I've started doing this, really focused on Windsor, Essex, Windsor and surrounding areas.
Okay, cool. So what has been your favorite part so far? Like what has come from this so far since you started that I guess it made you like really proud or been like really fun or exciting?
I think my proudest moments definitely have to be when people message me and they tell me, hey, like I've just moved back to Windsor and finding your page has really like led me to really cool experiences, or it's given me hope that like I'll have lots to do in the city. So I think when I see those messages, it really like instills in me that, okay, like, we're making it work, we're making the best out of being where we are and embracing the community that we have. We have a blooming and gorgeous artist creative community here. So I'm really excited to be part of this project with you.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, no, that's what I'm trying to do with this project is just get everybody who's doing something progressive and innovative Windsor on here to like let everybody know a little bit more about them and what they're doing, and to just kind of bring fans and followers of different people into other people because we're all one big community. Yeah. And like, yeah, people talk down on Windsor and everything, but people like you and every other guest on here like really bring it up and make it a little bit better. And working together like really helps that. So on your show, on your blog, I know you have a few different segments that you do. Mm-hmm. Do you kind of want to run us through a few of those? I know you do your weekly ones.
Yes. So every Thursday or Friday, you'll catch me sharing a weekend event roundup. So I try and find all the events that are happening in the city and the surrounding areas. I also do a monthly event recap or monthly event roundup that shares all the events that are happening during the week, because the fun doesn't only start on the weekend. And what else? Oh, I do Wandering Wednesdays. Wandering Wednesdays is a series that I share every Wednesday when it's airing every Wednesday to showcase small businesses in the area. And I finished my last Wandering Wednesday series, season 2, I finished in December. So season 3, we're gearing up. We're finished writing the series and now we just have to shoot. So I'm really excited.
So do you have it planned out, like all the businesses you're going to go visit and then you're going to go shoot them all and then get ready to kind of post them?
So this season is different. I formatted it differently, and I'm essentially looking into, in the writing process, I looked at the areas and then took it from there. And you'll see the businesses highlighted when it airs.
Okay, cool. I like it. So I know that Windsor's a big part of what you do. What are some of your favorite, I guess, events that we have here, and some big things that you're looking forward to, I guess, that are coming up this spring and summer?
Ooh, that's such a big question. And, you had mentioned saying that, Windsor gets spoken down to a lot. And yeah, I used to hear all the time that, oh, there's nothing to do in Windsor. There's nothing to do in Windsor. And I'm like, well, take a look, because there is something always to do. So coming up, I think I'm really looking forward to the Carousel of the Nations. That is always such it's like a corner piece of the season, because you see everybody when you go out. You see everybody at the different villages, and you get to try delicious food, and everybody's just having a great time. So it's just so nice to see everyone come together, enjoy the summer, and enjoy each other's company.
Yeah,
so.
That is a great one. It must be a lot of work to put together all these events. I've always found that's one thing that we didn't have, was like one place you could go to see everything that was happening. Even if you try to use Facebook and you put in like Windsor and you put the events together, it's not organized. And ever since I found you, I've been going to your blog, to your page. You guys should do it too. Because she puts everything there and you can see like what's coming up, and you don't waste any time. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, it takes an absurd amount of time to do it. And I would so I don't know if you've ever been on TikTok or Instagram comment section, but some people can be really not kind. And I got in a comment one time saying, "Oh, I'm so disappointed that you didn't include this event." And I'm like, don't be disappointed. I'm trying my best. Like, it is something that I do out of just the love of the area and the community that we have here. So if you have an event that you'd like me to feature, please send it my way, and I'll try to plug it in when and where I can, either the monthly or weekly.
No, for sure. I always find like even I've thrown art shows in the past and other events, and people are always like, "Oh, like I didn't see it. Like, why didn't I see it?" Or like, "Oh, like I wish you would have asked me." And I'm like, I can't remember everybody, and I can't share it everywhere. And I'm sure you find the same way. Like, you can't remember every single event. So the best thing to do, like if somebody messaged me and they're like, "Hey, like I really wanted to be in that show," so usually I'll be like, "Yeah, just join now." Or like I'll put them on the list. I'm sure you would too. And then like make sure you put it on the next time. Approach with kindness. Don't be upset with them, especially when they're doing something, as like a passion project.
Yes. Oh.
So you're from Windsor, you do all this traveling stuff here, but you travel other places too. And I checked out your website and I saw some of the stuff you did. I'm a huge traveler myself. I've been traveling since right when I turned 21, I would say. It was like when I started like real traveling. Where are some of your favorite places you've been?
Okay, so from the top, one of my favorite European destinations is Copenhagen. Copenhagen is just unreal. Like, everything is so perfect. There's no litter anywhere. Everything is just so clean. It's a very interesting case study. I don't know. Like, it's just a very interesting place. We just got back from a 5-week trip to Mexico. And I think it's decided I need to live on a coastal town one day, and just enjoy the surf and the beach, and the sun. So Mexico, there's so many amazing gems in Mexico that I wish we had more time to explore, but we try to make it work.
Where did you go? Did you move around? What coast did you go to?
Yeah, so we did a week in Playa del Carmen. We did a week in Mexico City. We were going to do a week in Puerto Escondido, which was the place that I loved, and I'm convinced that's where I need to live. And then we did a week in Puerto Vallarta, and then last week was Tulum. Sorry, we were all over the place. So
I understand.
and Puerto Escondido is like such a cute gem. But like I want to see like Baja California and like Puebla, just in and around Mexico City. Like, there's so many amazing places. Yeah,
I definitely want to do like the whole Baja Strip. I go to California, USA a lot. Like probably too much. And I'm going to cross the border and drive through on an upcoming trip for sure. I really want to. I almost did it. I was in La Jolla, right near San Diego last time I was there. And it's only like 40 minutes from the border, but we didn't really have time to go. So next time for sure. So you caught my attention with one thing you said. You said the surf. Do you go surfing when you're down there?
I've surfed a handful of times in my life, and I think if I would have, stayed in Venezuela and like lived on the coast, and who knows, maybe surfing would have been my professional sport. Like, I feel like that and me, shake hands, handshake. But I surfed in Costa Rica. I did surfed in Costa Rica, and then when I was in Sayulita, when we were in Puerto Vallarta, I did some more surf as well.
Nice. Yes, I love surfing. It's my favorite sport. I actually learned how to do it in Nicaragua. Have you been there?
No, but I want to.
Yes, you have to go. That's my favorite spot, definitely. Nice. I need to do some more countries in that area. I've done Costa Rica too. Nice. But yeah, like surfing is one of my favorite things. I actually do some surfing here. I know that's always the reaction that we get. So there's a few of us in the Windsor, Essex that surf around here.
Like here in Windsor, Essex?
Yeah. Lake Erie. I'm putting it on blast. I'm going to get some hate from the stone cold ones. That's okay. You have to commit. So there's actually the surfboard right there. So because you do your blog and everything, I'll try to take you out this year. I have 2 boards. There's a couple good days throughout the summer where you don't need a wetsuit, which is really cool. But like the main surfing season is like fall, winter, early spring. Okay. So you're out Lake Erie. There's a couple good beaches. If anybody's interested, I guess they could hit me up.
I was just gonna say, do you see how he's not sharing the spots? He's keeping it secret.
Yes. So no, there's a few on Lake Erie, starting kind of like near Kingsville, nice. And it goes all the way up to Toronto. Cool. Every beach has a kind of a different little thing to it that makes waves break. It's all based on wind swell here, so it's all wind speed and certain wind directions, like a southwest blowing at this speed makes this beach go off, and vice versa. There's a couple like gem spots on like some unicorn days where this wind is blowing a certain way, and it happens a couple of times a year at every beach, and you can get out and you can surf out there. It's smaller waves. You're using like a longer board, big board too, because they're not that, they're smaller waves. But sometimes on the really good days, like we've had some like 4 or 5 foot clean waves, like wicked. No chop. It's amazing. Wicked. Yeah, if anybody's interested, they can message me and I'll share a little bit.
These are the unique experiences I'm after. So please, I'm on the list. I'm signed up on the list.
If there's a great day, I'll definitely let you know.
Awesome.
I'm assuming you don't have a wetsuit.
I don't have a wetsuit and I don't have a board here. So.
That's okay. I have a board for you, and I'll make sure it's a day where you can go out without a wetsuit on.
Okay, cool.
And I'm not gonna make you, freeze to death, because like sometimes we go out and it's like 0 degrees and it's snowing outside. But that's when the waves are good. Though you got to commit. Like if you want to do something,
0 to 100, 100. Yeah. Yes, so good.
But I also like I'll just travel to surf because it's guaranteed in here. It's so floppy. Like you drive out an hour and a half sometimes to a beach like near Chatham, and then you just it's flat.
Oh no.
But I keep a journal. And I have a friend. Shout out to Lloyd. He's the surf guru of this area. Woo-hoo. And usually you shoot him a text, and he usually he usually comes back with if it's going off or not. So that's awesome. Now with all this traveling, do you stay in hostels usually when you travel?
So when I first started out, I only stayed in hostels, and if you've never stayed in a hostel, I implore you, please stay in a hostel. It is honestly the best way to go and experience a place. Hostels normally have, Hostels normally have like walking tours or experiences that are free because you're staying there. Or if you're traveling solo, which I did the majority of my travel when I was in France, I did a lot of travel solo. When you're staying at a hostel, you're never solo. You may show up solo, but you will leave with a new group of friends. And hey, who knows? Like maybe you guys are heading in the same direction or going to the same town, and then you guys can continue the friendship there. It's a beautiful experience. So I implore everyone, if you haven't done it, go stay in a hostel. We stayed in a hostel actually fairly recently. So now I stay in hotels, but I've gone to the dark side and I stay in hotels.
Me too a little bit. I'm like, as you get older, you're like, the hotel. But when I'm alone, it's always a hostel though.
Yeah, nice.
I don't want to be alone. But anyway, so continue with what you were saying.
Sorry. We actually did stay in hostels quite recently. And I don't know, maybe if it's been a couple years that has gone by, but like hostels have changed. They've improved for the better. We were in Playa del Carmen and we stayed in a hostel. I even stayed there with my parents, and it was an amazing experience. My parents were loving every single second. They enjoyed the pool. They were like, wow, they've got a kitchen and there's coffee ready. Like they were amazed. And then when we were on the Quebec Maritimes in Ile de la Madeleine, we stayed in a hostel, the Blue Oasis Hostel. It's on a little island. If you haven't been, also check it out. It's another Canadian gem. And yeah, just incredible. And like hostels are now like, I don't know, they're hip. They've they've remodeled, or I'm telling you, I don't know if it's because when I started traveling years ago, things were a little more run down, but now from the 2 hostels that I stayed in, now I have hope that more hostels have been renovated or up to date or brand new.
Yeah, you got like the same story as me. It's so funny. So you stay with your parents. I brought my dad to a hostel. He was probably like 49, I think, when we went for the first time. And like, yeah, like I said, I started traveling and like I was in my early 20s. I didn't really have any money and I was staying at hostels, and my dad was like really into it. And then me and him went out to Yosemite in California and we stayed in a hostel, and we stayed in a hostel in Santa Monica down there too. And he was loving it. Yeah, I know, like people have like this stigma about them. I think it's starting to change, especially with blogs like yours that like really show it, but like made some amazing friends at hostels in like 10 minutes after meeting them. I call this like the golden experience. Have you ever met someone at a hostel and then met up with them at a different time and it's somewhere else?
Yes. When I was in Cancun, I went with my best friend. We did 3 weeks in Mexico, like 4 years ago. And we met Amy. Shout out to Amy. Amy's been traveling the world and we love that. But we met Amy at the hostel in Cancun. And then we were in Tulum town, and we literally like bumped into her, had no idea we were going to be there. She was going to be there. And we're like, oh my God. And then like while we were for the rest of the week in Tulum, we were meeting up all the time, and it was fantastic.
No way. That's awesome. It's funny. So I went to Iceland when I was 22. So like 5 years ago. And I got to the plane at like 6 a.m. I was alone, a solo trip. And I was in a bus stop at the airport waiting to take a little bus to go get your rental car. And there was 2 guys next to me and introduced themselves, and we met. And we exchanged numbers, but they were going a different route that week, and so was I, but we were flying home the same day. So the night before we were flying home, so a week later, they hit me up or I hit them up, and we went out for a beer, my friend Jordan. And fast forward to like a year or so later, I went to California, and he was living down there. He came and picked me and my friends up in his car. We went out, and then another year after that, I met him again in California, went to a party together. So like,
so good.
Yeah, like we've kept like reconnecting. It's super
so
awesome. Yeah.
You see, like hostels is gold. It really is, like lifelong friendships that you make, and just with people that you've just met. What's the saying, that strangers are just friends that you haven't met yet? Like, yeah. I love that.
I love that too. Now we're talking about all like the great experiences about traveling, which most of them are, but everybody that's traveled a lot, as I can tell by your reaction, has had a couple bad ones. Let's do 2 questions. So what's the scariest thing that's ever happened while you were traveling? And what's like the biggest, I guess, like disaster that's happened, but maybe turned into like a funny story?
Okay, so the worst thing or scariest thing that happened to me where was I? I was in Hamburg waiting for the 6:30 train to go to Amsterdam with my friend Paula, and it was like 6:15. We're literally sitting in the lunch area waiting. We're like, oh, we're just waiting for this train. And I'm like, okay, like it's 6:20. We should get up and head to the waiting area for the train. And she's like, okay. And she goes to grab her bag that was like next to her. And she's like, Roxana, the bag was right here, right? And I'm like, yes. And she's like, well, it's gone. Like, literally right next to her, like the bag disappeared. And then we realized in the yells and screams that we did in the middle of that canteen that the people that were sitting right in front of us were the ones who were watching, like were like scoping it out for the other folks coming in to steal it. So I'm imagining they like hooked the bag with like a pole or something and like brought it out, and we didn't even see it move, right? Because it's in your peripherals. So
wow,
that was pretty scary because like we didn't know what to do at that point. Like we went to the police and the whole police write-up, but it's just like it was the end of the trip, and it was like, ugh, what a bummer to to end the trip off that way. And out of everything, she's like, it was she shoots film, and she's like all her film that
Close
we
to
just
home.
shot was in that bag. And like that is honestly like the most heartbreaking things, because I'm like, oh, those were such great pictures, and she's an amazing photographer. So
Oh my God, that hits close to home. That is my worst nightmare. Every time I go on a trip, at the beginning of the trip, I'm always like, okay, I got to keep my camera stuff close because I don't want people to steal it, then I can't make pictures. But at the end of the trip, screw the camera stuff, the film. I just went on a trip recently, and for the whole last day we left, because you know when you're like kind of going to the airport, you don't really have a hotel at the moment, so your stuff's in the car. I had my film in a little pouch on my chest, my shot film, all day. The rest was in the car. Break in, steal my camera gear, whatever, that's replaceable. But like the photos, oh my God, like that's such a, I feel so bad.
Have you ever like shot a whole roll, thought you were doing an amazing job, and then you go to develop it and there's nothing?
One time.
All blanks. Okay. Yes. Wow.
Yes.
Okay. That's good. Just one time.
Just one time. Okay, and it wasn't traveling shoot.
Okay.
It was a local shoot.
Okay.
It wasn't a like, well, I never shoot film for work, but work's always digital, so there's no worries. But film, it's only happened once, and it was local, so it wasn't like a huge deal.
Okay.
But yeah, scary. I have film at the lab right now from a trip getting developed. So fingers crossed. Yeah. Oh, that's so scary. So, okay, now we're on to this. We're in my forte. Do you shoot? Obviously you shoot something.
Yes. I shoot on, so I used to only shoot film. But then I was a very broke student, so I just became more broke shooting on film. So I switched over to a Fujifilm X-T20 that has been just like, it's been it for me all these years.
I love it.
I got her when I started. I got her in 2016. So she's been with me for a while. And yeah, I take her everywhere. I shoot all of my pictures on there, and now I also shoot on my iPhone 13 Pro. So that's it.
iPhone's sick.
Yeah.
So does that camera have the Fujifilm simulations in it?
So it comes preset with the Fujifilm.
Do you use those or no?
No, I don't tend to use those. No. But I should be. I keep seeing on TikTok all these like Fujifilm recipes, and I'm like, maybe I should just. I don't know. I need to play around with it more. I'm really into like with video and shooting on the iPhone. I'm really into like making it more cinematic. So I'm trying to get into DaVinci Resolve, but
nice.
That's for another day that I have a little bit of spare time.
Do you so when on your Fuji, do you shoot? Do you edit the pictures afterwards, like on the computer? What do you use?
Yeah, I use a Lightroom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you want to use DaVinci for video?
Because haven't you seen like the what's it called? It's like. So let me back it up. I want to use DaVinci Resolve for video so I can get like all the film effects in motion. Because I don't think Lightroom you can edit video.
No, but Adobe Premiere, you can edit video.
For the low price.
Yeah. Well, is DaVinci, you don't have to pay?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you do. I'm guessing with the look on his face that you have to pay
I don't know.
DaVinci.
I've only used Adobe programs because like you just pay for it and then you get them all.
Nice.
The nice thing is you can like bring stuff over. So like you can be editing something in Lightroom and then bring it over to Premiere. You can actually edit it in Lightroom and in real time it'll switch in Premiere. Which is more beneficial when you're doing like editing audio. So like when I edit this podcast, I'll edit the audio in Audition, which is Adobe, and I'll put the video together in Premiere, but it's just like open it in Premiere and then you're just like, you're working on both, but it's saving in the other.
So maybe I need to look into Premiere.
Maybe.
But
who knows? And then Premiere has like, there's like all kinds of things. You can do like overlays for film looks. Okay. Like I have a bunch of like Super 8 overlays that I use for my reels. I'll send them to you.
Please.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I'll send you a bunch. I'll show you how to use it too. It's like super easy.
Yeah. So maybe on Wandering Wednesdays, we'll get some cool new tips and tricks and features here.
Sweet. So yeah, with the with your Fuji too, I'm pretty sure that you can shoot. So you have like, you can have like the film simulation on one file, and then it'll take the same picture without that.
Yeah. So, but I'm a horrible, what do you call it? Memory management person, and I never back up anything.
No.
I know. I'm literally the worst. I've been in the midst, because I have to bring my iPhone to the Apple Store. I've been in the midst of backing up all of my photos, and I've got 40,000 pictures on my phone right now.
Do you have iCloud?
No, I bought the iPhone with the most storage because I don't like iCloud. So I'm sorry, I have lots of gripes with iCloud.
That's okay. Let's hear them.
So I want to be able, and maybe I just don't know to use. Maybe I just don't know to use the tool, but I want to be able to select which photos I want to upload to the cloud. I don't want to upload all of the photos to the cloud.
Okay.
I think you can do it through albums. Like if I create an album, I can export that out. Like I can send that album to the cloud, but I just don't trust the cloud. I don't know if this is a hot topic, but or a hot button. I don't know, whatever you call it. But I just don't trust the cloud. I don't like the cloud. So I just rather keep it all and then back it up to my hard drive.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's okay. As long as you do it frequently enough.
This is the thing. I just need to get better at file management. Yeah. And if anyone has any tips for file management, please add them below, or please message me and show me your ways.
I'm sure somebody, well, I don't know I don't know how many people are going to see this, but
everybody's going to see this.
I have like, so obviously like as a photographer, I have like lots of backup things.
Backup on backup.
Of course. With my phone, I do use iCloud though. The nice thing is like I use the reminders app a lot before I put things in like my real to-do list, just because it's quicker. And the nice thing is like if I say my phone got stolen or I dropped it in the lake just unexpectedly, even if I type something in there like 2 minutes ago, it's going to be on my computer when I get home. Okay. Same with all the photos I took. So like if I'm on a trip and I'm just taking pictures on my phone, they're already saved. Even if my phone gets like broken or whatever, I don't lose them. So that's nice. But I feel you.
Maybe I have to look into the cloud.
But for backing up things, so external drives, there's one right there. I always just do have a drive that mirrors another one. So you have your main drive, and then you have one that like every Sunday afternoon or Sunday morning, you put in your computer and you take everything and you drag it onto the new one. Okay. If you do it every week, it'll only take 5 minutes for everything to move over because you're not moving much. And then you always have a drive mirrors one. So if the one drive breaks, you got the other one. But I got even crazier, and I have triples now because my thing is, what if the first one breaks until I get the other one backed up, which like could take a couple hours. True. There's only one spot, and that's scary. So now I have triple drives.
Oh my gosh. How far back do you keep everything?
I have everything I've ever done. I have them all stacked. And I didn't start the really good organization right away though. So don't be like, you can always go back and do it. So every hard drive has a piece of tape on it with a number. And then I have a list that corresponds to the number. So it's like number 25 is October 2022 until, February 2023. And it's got like these folders on it. Okay. And that's how I do it. And then it's so nice. Like if you lose, like, somebody asks me for photos I did like 3 years ago, I just go to the list. What hard drive is that? Oh, it's 12.
Brilliant. Okay. Okay, maybe I need to rethink my whole system here.
There's even better ways than mine. You can buy like these bigger units and it'll mirror automatically. So like the way I'm doing it is manually, but these ones do it automatically. But then it's still like one device, and I don't like that.
Yeah, no, like no. I'd rather do it myself and make sure that they're there.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. So It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
Yes.
But I was going to say, I was looking on your Instagram and I saw that you, I think, just went on a trip to California, or like you're sharing the latest from California. What is your why do you love California so much?
Don't get me started. Don't get me started. I'm actually working on a project out there that I kind of want to maybe turn into a book.
Ooh.
So we'll see. I don't know what I love about it. I think like my whole life growing up, I was just kind of like into like that whole California thing, like skating, surfing, you know, just the whole scene, camping and living out of vans and doing all that stuff. And then I went out there for the first time and I just like fell in love. I went there 3 times last year. I'm always going. It's my spot. Like nice. I know the streets in like Venice and Santa Monica like better than I do here. I don't use maps. I just driving around. Nice. I don't know what it is. It's like a country in one state. And the thing about California too is like some of the other states are like a little much. They're like a little too America for me, but California's a little more chill. But you can go like, you can be in LA, big city. Mm-hmm. Then you can be at the beach in like Santa Monica or Venice. Yeah. Then you can drive out to the desert. Then you can drive up into the mountains. So you can go to Las Vegas, Arizona, Mexico, all within like a 4 or 5 hour drive.
So good. They really have it made in California, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah. Anthony and I, we went, that was our last trip before. We went February 2020. So when I got back.
So did I.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
I was there too.
So when I got back in March 2020, that's when, you know, we just moved to downtown Ottawa, closer to where I work. And we signed that rent agreement. So anyways, long story short, we love California. I'd love to also, in another place I could live, you know, on the coast, beachside. Yes. So good.
Me too. I totally feel you. I would love to go live in like the valley down there near LA or somewhere in the desert, but that's okay. I love Windsor too, you know.
Hey, we're on the same latitude. So you're really getting, it's like California through latitude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I love Windsor. I love being in Windsor. It's like the perfect size city. It's not too small where it's like, but it's not too big where it's like just too crazy. It's like perfect size. You can know everybody in the art scene. You can do podcasts like this. If I did a podcast like this in California, nobody listen to it. There's 1,000 of them, you know. And the nice thing about Windsor is like, yeah, just travel. Like Detroit's right there. You can fly to California for nothing if you're flexible. Mm-hmm. You said you and Anthony, she wasn't talking about me, she and her partner. So where did you guys go when you were there in February 2020?
So we arrived in LA. We did LA. We did also, what's the town called?
You can talk. It's okay. Her partner Anthony's here. He's just off camera.
What's the town that we showed up, like the second day we went to? We don't remember. It's so long ago at this point now. But anyways, we did LA. Then we did the Pacific Coast Drive all the way to San Francisco.
Cool.
And we stopped into a little cute town that I can't remember the name of, but just amazing. And I've been to Monterey, California beforehand, and if you've never been, I would recommend to go. But yeah, and then we ended up in San Francisco, and then we flew back home. And we were in San Francisco just when they had like first cases in San Francisco. So like it was a wild time. Like thinking back, we're like, how did we even go on this trip? Yeah. Like how did we not think, oh, maybe we shouldn't be traveling during this time? But hey, it was a different time.
I was there the same time. I think I went there like February 20th, 2020. I think I came home like March 5th. So when I went there, like there was no COVID yet. Like obviously the COVID, but like it was like kind of like whispers, but like nothing.
Yeah.
Coming home, there was people in the airport with masks on. I was
like what's going on?
Masks on for? Like what's going on? And then I came home, normal week, and then like boom. And then the first place I went when the border opened in November 2021 was California.
Of course.
I went right back. It was over a year and a half. But yeah, so no, that's cool. San Francisco's great. I've driven on the Pacific Coast Highway, but I never did the San Fran to like LA because I'm lame and it's like an extra 2 hours. And if you cut inland,
it's worth it.
I know I need to. And you went to Monterey?
Yes.
I've never been, but I want to. The Monkees, you know the band The Monkees from the 60s? They have one of their, it's okay. It's not a lot of people know them. They were like a Beatles like copy kind of.
Okay.
But they're great. And one of my favorite songs by them, they sing about that town.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, love it. Yeah.
That sounds fun. I need to. So actually, funny you bring up San Francisco. This project I was talking about that I'm doing in California, excuse me. That's like the last place that I need to continue shooting. I don't have enough from there.
Okay.
So I have to go back.
You got to go back.
Yeah.
Hold my arm. Fine. I'll go back.
That's funny. So I have some questions here. And one of them was, what do you shoot your content with? Which we already went over.
Yes. iPhone 13 Pro and Fujifilm X-C20.
Cool. I love it. Okay. So besides blogging and doing your thing and traveling, what else do you love to do?
Creating content is really like my main passion. But if I'm just at home and I have no energy to do anything else, I'm probably finding patterns to sew or never sew because I don't have the time to actually sit there and do it. I've been getting worse and worse lately. Like I'll buy patterns and I'll cut them out, I'll draft them, and I just never get to it. So maybe this summer I'm gonna have to carve out some more time just to do some more sewing projects.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Another creative endeavor.
Yes.
There's always those hobbies that you don't have time to do because like the main ones come first, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I always feel like maybe when I'm old,
One day.
I'll get more use out of those things.
What will you do if, one day when you're old? What is that hobby that you don't dedicate enough time to?
Just like you, like I love photography so much. I don't really care to do anything else, but I also love a lot of, I love that like photography is the thing that I put all my effort into and I want to be like, I want to do the best at it. And like, I really care about like every little detail and it consumes me. And then everything else I do, I don't care. I just have fun. Like, I don't care if I win. I don't care if I'm good as long as I'm having fun because like I have my thing that I try to be, but it's probably just like, I love a lot of like action sports, surfing.
I was just going to say the surfing,
skateboarding and like longboarding and BMX and like going for bike rides and just everything like that. I'll play golf, kayak, just like anything outdoors, camping, weird things. Rock climbing actually is probably like the number one like thing that I like to do sport wise. And just, I would just do that stuff all day.
Nice. Do you do any climbing here? Because I know there's like the Windsor Rock Gym. There's a couple places in Detroit that have some walls.
Yeah. So Windsor Rock Gym, shout out to Marco. I've been a member there for years. I've been going there probably since like 2017 or 18, but I've been consistent like twice a week since for both 3 years now.
Nice.
So yeah, it's a great spot, good training facility. One of the like, if you didn't know about rock climbing, you might go in there and be like, oh, it's a little small, but like honestly, they have the best routes. Like you get the strongest air out of those other like bigger gyms. And then Detroit has some fun ones. Planet Rock is really fun. And then they just opened up a new one called Dino, which is downtown, so you don't have to drive as far.
Nice.
So usually like me and my friends will climb in Windsor, obviously all the time. And then every month or two, we'll go to the States so we can do some like rope climbing.
Oh, cool. Rock climbing is on my Windsor bucket list. So Windsor Rock Gym, I'm coming for you. I'm going one day, one of these days. I gotta cross it off the list by the end of the year. So
for sure. Go. Yeah. Let me know when you go too. Maybe maybe I'll swing by.
Right on.
Okay. So, let's see. What do you have? I know you do it because you love it and that's the most important thing, but what do you have your blog for? What do you want to like see from it? What do you want to kind of,
Yeah. So when I first started my traveling backpack, it was really a forcing function to share all the photos that I have because I hoard all of my pictures and videos. And it was a forcing function to share. And once I started sharing and creating the content, I just fell in love with it. And now it's kind of changed into the purpose has changed to being a portfolio. So really my traveling backpack is a portfolio because I'd love to go on a world tour one day, or throughout the years, in the sense of, so my partner, he works, in his line of work, he has the winters off. So like we would love to travel the world throughout those 3 months that he's got off. So yeah, so it's a portfolio to show brands and companies like what I can do, what I've done, to see if I can, travel in their space or check out their unique experience or unique stay.
Yeah, no, I love it. And like brands are totally into that now, especially with like the whole social media thing. And like social media is always changing. It's so aggravating. See, the nice thing for me is like as a photographer, it was big on photos for a long time. So I didn't have to do any extra work. I was taking pictures anyway, just share them. Now, reels, the death of me with these reels, seriously. So yeah, how do you keep up with this ever changing nonsense of algorithms?
Yeah, it's the nonsense of algorithms. And it's also like every video or every reel of a Instagram expert telling you like what you need to do now. And like, honestly, like I just have to kind of tune all of that out and like just share what I want to share, because like if I start like getting into that rabbit hole of trying to share the way, like posting 3 times a day, and those are all unrealistic for me. Yep. Like I have a full-time job. I work 9 to 5, and then I work 5 to 9, and then 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. You know what I mean? So like I can't. It's not realistic for me to maintain these
unrealistic
expectations. Thank you so much.
Yes. No, I totally understand. And like, I've come to the point where it's just like, honestly, like the most important thing, and I'm sure for you too, is you're having fun. You don't want to get burnt out. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking about like my personal work for this coming from me too. You don't want to get burnt out. You want to love it. And you want to put out like the best content you can. Mm-hmm. And like, sometimes you get lucky and it takes me 2 minutes to edit a photo. I'm sure it takes you only 15 minutes to put a reel together. Yeah. And that's great. But sometimes it takes like a couple days. Yeah. And I'd rather put out good work that doesn't perform as well, that'll like stand the test of time.
Exactly. And honestly, at the end of the day, like I'm speaking to not just myself here, but like at the end of the day, like if you're doing what you enjoy and you're enjoying what you're sharing, like it really, nothing else matters. Because like in my opinion, like whatever you're doing and you're sharing should primarily, like you should be loving it and you should be enjoying it. Like everybody else, if they like it, great, that's a bonus. But if I like it and I love it, then I'm a happy camper.
I totally agree. And when you put out work like that, that's like true to yourself, I find that like at the end of the day, you're going to be happy. Mm-hmm. You didn't make work that were just for this thing like Instagram. Like when you're 50, you're going to look back and you're going to be like, so who cares that, like, why did I do this stuff I didn't want to do? Yeah. Instead of like having like, for me, like a great photo, or for you, like, these great memories. Mm-hmm. So yeah, no, that's great. Since starting your blog, I'm sure you've met like so many different and like interesting people. What have been like some of your favorite things, I guess, that have come out of having this blog? Like,
I've been afforded some really cool experiences doing my traveling backpack. And I think one of the coolest experience I've done is I was working with a hostel company, and they sent me all over the Iberian Peninsula. So they sent me to Portugal, and I visited Lisbon, Porto, and then they sent me all around Spain, and I did a full tour of Spain. And that was like really fun, exhausting. It was 22 days of like nonstop travel. But it was a lot of fun, and it was like really cool. And it's just like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
I love it. Do you like, I love traveling too. But do you like, when you get back home after those long ones, do you love it?
There is no place like home. There's no place like my bed. It is honestly the best. But through all these experiences and through traveling, like I've learned that really I can tolerate like maximum 2 weeks of nonstop travel before I start breaking down. Like by the 21st day of that trip, I was like, I was done. Yeah. I was done. I was far gone. So like being able to travel slowly has been the key. So like when I traveled through the 5 weeks with my parents and my partner, like it was just like nice. We weren't rushing to see everything, because that's the error I made when I was young and traveling for the first time, was I have 2 days to see everything in the city, and no stone can go unturned. But that's not unrealistic expectations, so slow travel is definitely the key for me, at least.
And if you don't see something, then you have to go back.
Right? Twist my arm again. Yes, I'll go back. No problem.
I love it. So does Anthony, your partner, does he like to travel as much as you do, or do you do solo trips without him and then he kind of fills in on some?
It is, I think, what we call, opposites attract. I do a lot of the traveling, and he does join. I do have to encourage. Lots of encouragement does have to happen for us to go on a trip. But once he's on the trip, he loves it and he's having a great time, except the trip in Mexico, because he got sick 2 days in, and then that kind of just set the tone for the rest of the trip. So
God, you have my life. Okay. So you just explained my wife to a T. Typically I try to do about 4 trips a year, 3 or 4. She usually comes on 1 or 2. Nice. I don't have to per se twist her arm. I would have to twist her arm if she came on every one. And then she loves it when she's there, but she got sick on our trip 2 trips ago. We went to Cuba and she was sick the entire time. And it's just so terrible. I would rather be sick than have her sick. Yeah. It's just the worst feeling, because you're not but she's great, and she's no, go do that thing, I'll be okay. So I'll stay with her for a bit, and then I'll go do the thing, and then rush back, and then are you alive?
Yeah, are you okay? Yeah. Can I go out again?
Have you been sick on a trip?
Ooh, have I been sick on a trip? I don't think I've been sick on a trip like Anthony has. If anything, I did lose my voice one time on a trip, but that was 3-4 days. I couldn't say anything. I was just pen and paper. But that's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay. I'll take that. I'll take that over a stomach bug. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. And it depends where you are too. I'd rather get sick in certain countries than others, yeah. Where things are accessible. I would definitely rather be sick anywhere traveling in Canada. It's just so easy. You have your health card.
Yes.
Go anywhere you want.
Blessed.
It's
so
just
blessed.
so nice. Because even if you get sick somewhere else, and even if you have insurance, it's still such a pain. Mm-hmm. And in Canada too, we can use all the tap water, and you don't have to worry about any of that. So your chance of getting sick is definitely a lot lower. Yeah. But yeah, I love leaving. Actually, that's funny. So yeah, my wife got sick in Cuba. So on our last trip, we stayed here. We went out west. Oh, she was nervous about food and somewhere else. But I think we're gonna go back. She loves Central America too.
Okay,
so we'll be back down there soon. Yeah, I've been sick on. That was always my biggest fears, getting sick before a trip, especially with COVID.
Before a trip, yeah, because that puts a damper on the whole thing.
Yeah, I was sick going into a trip once. And it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I was fine, just in time, and it was all good. Thank God.
I actually, because of COVID, so I went to France last year in August, and I had to time my return perfectly because one of my good friends was getting married. So I was I cannot risk getting sick before this wedding. So let me come back beforehand. And now we have to that's just another thing. We've got to plan out the logistics for travel. Yeah. But that's just The name of the game. The name of the game.
I don't remember if you mentioned this before we started recording or after, but you mentioned that, like, yeah, you're from Windsor, but originally you're from Venezuela.
Yes.
Were you born there?
Yes, I was born there.
How long did you live there for?
So I lived there for 4 years. So I was 4 when I moved to Canada. But we would go back my parents would pull me out of school for like a month every other year. So like we would go back and forth. Like if you listen closely sometimes when I'm talking, like I'll like say the wrong verb or like the wrong sentence placement or sentence structure, and it's because like I missed key parts of grade school. But and I actually have this thing that like I don't want to travel or explore South America until I see Venezuela and like the gems of Venezuela. But it's going to be a while until I can see the gems of Venezuela. But then once I see the gems, then I'll be able to explore all of South America.
Yeah, for sure. That's super cool. There's a game I've wanted to do, and I actually wanted to do it legitimately. Maybe I'll do it one day, where either you spin a globe or you have a map on a wall and you throw a dart at it and you have to go where you hit, or you can do like 3. And you got to pick from one of the 3.
Oh, nice.
Definitely a game I want to do.
Yeah, that's. I think I saw that in like Mary-Kate and Ashley, a Mary-Kate and Ashley movie growing up, and I'm like, oh, I want to do that so bad. I think that's when they went down under and they landed. I don't know, but you just spun up a memory.
Yeah. I unlocked a memory.
Yes.
I don't know if I've seen. If I've seen that, I used
classics.
to watch. I've definitely seen Mary-Kate and Ashley movies. Yeah, I'm not. There's some classics there, but I don't know if I've seen that one. But maybe I haven't. That's where I got the idea. I definitely need to do that. And I've never been to South America. I've been to Central America, but I've never been south, and I really want to go. It'd be so cool. So many different places. And I always go back to the same ones. And like my wife always gets, she gives me shit. She's like, oh, you went there like 9 times already. And I'm like, but like I'm working on a photo project there now. That's the other thing too, is like I have to keep revisiting. But I find like going somewhere new is amazing. Obviously, like I try to do those as much as I can, but revisiting a place is the smoothest trip. Like no wasted time, like nowhere to stay, nowhere to go, nowhere to eat, and like still do new things, but it's just like such a more like relaxing and like chill time, I find.
So good. There is a thing, like there is so many places to see in so little time, but those places that you return to that you love so much, like special place in your heart, you know what I mean? Like for me, that's in France, like Chambéry is where the town I did my year of law school there. And then a host family took me in when I was teaching English. My apartment that I was living in got infested with mold. So one of the principals from a school, she's like, come live with me. So anyways, Delphine and her family, the town that they live in is just the cutest little French town in the south of France. And I'm like, I could live here forever too. I could live many places.
Yeah, I know. Same. Everywhere I go, I'm like, oh, let's move here.
Yeah.
My wife's like, no, I'm not moving here. I was like, yeah. That's the other thing too. Like Windsor's like a perfect home base, especially if like you grew up here, and you can just like come and go, and it's really nice.
Yeah.
It is getting more expensive, but it is still so cheap compared to so many different places. Like so many places are just so unrealistic to live in. And you're staying in Windsor, you think like, oh, this is like ridiculously expensive. But then you like look somewhere else and you're like, oh, I'm going to stay.
I'll stay in Windsor.
I'll stay here. Yeah.
Yeah. Our goal is definitely to have a place here and then see where life takes us. But there is nothing, I think, that can be in Canada, this Canadian tropics of weather that we have. Like, we are the Canadian tropics. Like, if we wanted to plant a banana tree, a banana plant, we would have bananas. Like, this, if you've never been to Windsor, it is the Canadian tropics.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't know when I'm going to release this podcast. I'm kind of like banking a few to start. So we filmed this actually before the first one was even out, and this is number 3. But we're filming this on April 12th. And if you remember April 12th, it is like 29 degrees today. It's fantastic.
Amazing.
Yes,
Amazing.
Such a great day. Okay, so there was something I sent you because I did give you kind of some prep for this one. And I was going to give you some speed questions about Windsor.
Time.
Are you ready?
I don't know if I'm ready, but sure. You might have to edit some parts out. No.
That's totally cool. You guys are gonna see lots of cuts. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so I put together a few speed questions for Roxana all about Windsor. So I'm gonna ask like pretty much a bunch of her favorites, and this isn't like trying to overshadow others. It's not saying that like one's better than the other, but we're just kind of going off some favorites here. So, what's your favorite coffee shop?
Ooh, Cafe Amor.
Love it. Okay, awesome. Favorite bar?
Maiden Lane Wine and Spirits.
Ooh,
definitely.
yeah.
It's okay. Sorry, speed round. We can go into
No, we can go. No. The point of this, we can totally branch off. Let's go into it. No, that's cool. We'll hit number 3 on the next one.
No, I was just gonna say, until I went to Maiden Lane Wine and Spirits, I was like, Windsor needs a place that's just like a really nice, relaxing vibe where you can get a great cocktail. And then my friend Yelena took me to Maiden Lane Wine and Spirits, and I'm like, chef's kiss. This is amazing. This is the best thing ever. So yes.
they have a few favorites there. My favorite drinks are like alcohols are tequila and mezcal, and they have some great ones.
Nice.
Have you been to Blind Owl?
Yes, I have. Another gem. And half the time I'm just like, I realize the point of the Blind Owl is because it's a speakeasy. It's supposed to be like, is it open? Is it not open? Like, I'm going to go in and check it out. But yeah, I didn't realize that until the other. I'm like, oh, that's brilliant. Like, test people's ability to like try something new and like get in there.
Yeah. I love sitting at the bar there and just while they make drinks. It's a great time. There used to be a bar across the street called Vermouth. Did you ever go there?
I don't think so.
It closed years ago. It was like it was a lot closer to like a Blind Owl kind of vibe. Ooh. It was a little bit bigger. They had like a bunch of like red velvet furniture.
Where was this?
It was literally across the street from Blind Owl. The sign's still on the door, but it's closed. And it was like, there's some vibes in there. It was like very dark, like velvety furniture, very like old classic. They had cool drinks and it closed. Super big bummer. That spot was just awesome. Okay, so back to this.
Okay. Sorry.
I did top 3 restaurants.
Oh my gosh. Top 3 restaurants. Okay. I don't know if this is a like you would consider it a restaurant, but Rico Taco, the food truck for the burrito tacos. I could go there every day. But top. That counts.
Yeah, why not? Okay. They sell food. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It's so much, so stressful. Well, okay. I was gonna say Milo's Greek Grill, yes, which burnt down. Like a fire happened. I don't know. It's not burnt down because it's not crumbled.
Yes,
but there was a fire. They had this steak Fritz, divine. I'm
so bummed about that place. I did, the owner, Tom, commissioned me to do all the pieces on the way to the bathroom. It was all pictures of Greece, and it was all in windows that I made.
Cool.
And I did all the prints and the frames and stuff. And then there was the biggest frame I ever built was in there. It was right when you walked in, it was on the wall. It was a big white wood frame. It was huge, like insanely big. And it was a picture of his wife and the owner's wife. Well, she was the owner too. And his mother on their wedding day. His mother was old and she was giving her a kiss on the cheek. And it's like a giant print on the wall. And that's the biggest frame I ever did. And I haven't like contacted him. I should like get in touch to see if the pieces are okay.
Yeah. Oh.
Because super big bummer.
That would be so. Anyways, it's very devastating.
Yes.
But yeah, check it. Go connect.
I'm gonna connect. Yeah, I gotta connect. Yes. But okay, let's continue. Okay. So number 3.
Can I say like an old classic for you?
Oh, I know what you're gonna say. Since 1999, I have been going to the penalty box. How did this escape me? Literally, it is home. It is home in a chicken delight. Like, I love the penalty box so much. And I bring all my friends there who have come visited me. And I'm like, we have to go. And they used to do this escargot. That was the best thing ever. They stopped doing it, I think, during COVID. They stopped doing the escargot. But like, it is so good that like I would refuse when I was in France. I would refuse to eat the escargot in France because I'm like, they can't do it better than Penalty Box. Like,
No way.
and I had escargot in France, and it's still better than the penalty. No, sorry.
Penalty Box is still better.
And Penalty Box is still better.
That's hilarious. Yeah, of course, Penalty Box is the staple.
How did I blank? It's the pressure. No, oh my God. 1999, a loyal customer, this one.
Have you been to the new one?
Yes. I now go to whichever one I'm closest to
We're
during
like
the
pointing
day.
at where it is, but like people are just seeing the studio. Yeah, so like I'm in this part of town. I always had to drive to get it, and now I only have to drive like 2 minutes. It's fantastic.
So close. Amazing.
And I was worried. I was like, is it not going to taste as good at this one? And it's like totally the same.
Yes.
Can't even tell. Love it.
So
Love
good.
it.
So good.
Okay, so this one you can do as many as you want. You can just do one, whatever. Favorite like local owned shops and businesses, not coffee shops, like nothing that gives you food or drinks.
Okay.
I guess it could be a coffee shop, fine, as long as it's like,
Okay.
got some vibes going on.
Okay. So, for any gifts that I'm doing for folks that are out of town or like that I'm sending off to France, whenever I get to the post office, I will go and buy at Whiskey Jack Boutique. Shop Wolf and Rebel. I don't know if you've seen them around. They're amazing. And
Annie, right?
Yes, Annie. And Whiskey Jack Boutique, Allie and Katie, I love you.
I know them, but I'd like to meet them. I would like to have all of them on this show.
Oh, they're amazing.
Yeah.
You need to have them on the show. But yeah, so Canadian gifts at Whiskey Jack Boutique, self-care essentials at Wolf and Rebel. A place that I've actually never shopped, but like really admire because everything is a vibe. In Pressure Drop, they sell some like clothing goods and records and like cool things. I'm so intrigued.
They open tomorrow for the year.
Dun 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 dun. It's on the list now.
I'm gonna swing
Instantly
by.
on the list.
Yeah, Mike and Marina have gotten like super into like different craft beers and stuff. They have like a really big variety, big selection. You can get a lot of cool stuff. Funny story. So I'm pretty close with them.
Nice.
I met them at Urban Surf, at their boards and what was it called? Boards and beers, Sunset Paddles. Used to go out, go back. They'd give you beer. There'd be music. It was sick.
Nice.
So we like overheard conversation. We started talking. They let me know that they were opening up that. I kind of told them who I was, and then they asked me to help throw so I threw the opening, like the grand opening and Pressure Drop. Like I helped them with it, brought the artists in, and we did like a big party.
So good.
And it was supposed to be a yearly thing every May, because that was 2019, and then COVID happened. So we did number 2, we call it Art Drink Shop, and we did number 2 in December, this past December 2022 for like a Christmas one.
Nice.
So I think we're just going to kind of have them whenever now. But
So good.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. And they have such a wicked patio. Like when the sun is hitting, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
I think I'm going to go tomorrow for their opening night, or I'll be there on Friday. But yeah.
It's on the weekend. It's on the weekend list.
Yes, for sure. Okay. So let's go to local events. Favorite local events?
Oh,
or event?
okay. So favorite local events, like on the weekend, the downtown farmers market is key. They have a farmers market also in Amherstburg, but I've yet to go. Like it's on my list for this summer.
Same.
To go. And that's at the GLH Brewing. GL Brewing. You know what? I can't even speak English, but let's cut that out. But it's Amherstburg Farmers Market. I need to go.
GL Heritage Brewing Company.
Thank you. GL Heritage Brewing Company. Yes.
It's on Howard. Shout out to them because we just butchered it. So we'll give
I'm
them a
so
quick
sorry.
shout out.
But yes, I'll be going sometime this summer. And so Saturdays are always booked and busy. The walk in Walkerville, they do lots of art events as well. Anissa from Urban Art Market,
she's the best.
Amazing local shop as well. Great place to get gifts too. But she puts on lots of events for the Walkerville BIA and also for herself. So I love checking out whatever events are happening because she and the team is fostering such a beautiful community in Walkerville.
Yes, Anissa is the best. I've done photos at her events. I've had booths at her events. I have stuff in her shop. She's one of the most supportive, best people in Windsor. Yeah. And I know we're doing this list and we're missing so many great people, but don't worry because you're going to end up on her blog or I'm probably going to ask to be on this show anyway. So don't even worry about it if we skipped you. If we did skip you, shoot me a message and I'll have you on. Don't worry about it. But so yes, and this is like the queen of Walkerville at this point.
Yes. And what other events? I think those would be like in the summer, like those are my mains. Saturdays, booked and busy, and whatever's happening in Walkerville.
Willstead Night Market. Or not Willstead Night Market anymore. It's changed its name so many times. Walkerville Brewery, Distillery District Night Market.
That's a fun time.
Yes.
It's a fun time. And I think we went on 2 of the nights this past summer. And it was just so refreshing to see so many people. So many people are out and enjoying a good time and enjoying a great beverage. So nice. It's so nice to see smiles on people's faces.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones. I was a part of those doing booths back in 2016 when it was the Walkerville Night Market in the old Willstead Restaurants parking lot. Then it changed to the Willstead Night Market, and now the Walkerville Brewery took it over, and it's just a great time. And then I actually want to say one now. I guess like a little plug. So Art in the Park. It's the
key summer staple.
OG,
summer staple.
Yes. So I actually have a booth this year.
Yay!
Thank you for the first time. So yeah,
that's exciting. Congratulations on making the list.
Thank you.
That's a big feat.
Yes. No, I'm super excited. I'm very happy and honored that they chose me. I have so much work to do for it, and yeah, I'm super excited. I haven't done a booth for my art and my personal work in years since pre-COVID. So a whole new revamp and so many pieces I got to build and make and everything. But no, it's going to be great. I'm super excited.
I was just going to ask, are you selling frames or art prints as well? Or both?
Both. So nice. I don't really, I sell frames on their own, but not at events like that because who knows what size they need. So I'll take commissions or meet people and then they'll commission me to build frames after. But at the thing, I'll sell prints on their own, in little package things, and then I'll sell them in my frames.
Okay. Right on. Nice. So, nice. Yeah. Well, congrats.
Thank you. Favorite neighborhood, is that Walkerville?
Yes. Walkerville. I spent a lot of time in Walkerville and Port City.
Yeah. And they're merged.
Yeah.
Chapter 2 Brewing is the merged line.
Yes, it's that it's at the middle part of the Venn diagram.
Yeah. As you're going, because of Chapter 2 Brewery, you can walk from one to the other.
Yes.
Because you have a halfway stop. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so favorite outdoor activities. I saw that you actually posted, I think it was yesterday, about Pesh Island.
I'm obsessed.
That's my spot.
I've already said that Windsor is a Canadian tropics, but if you've ever been to Pesh Island, you will realize we really are the Canadian tropics. The water, well, when I went, I don't know, I haven't been in a while, but when I went, the water was so blue, so crystal clear blue. It was as if I'm on a beach in Cuba or I'm in Mexico. The water was so blue, and you're just this is in Windsor. We're in Windsor right now. No, we're not. Where's the palm trees? Incredible little adventure day.
Best. If you go there on a Sunday in the summertime, there's a good chance you'll see me there. There's a few spots that I love. When you go up, instead of going into the island, you go all the way to the left. There's a beach. Usually we start there in the sun and then cut through the island and where the bridge is.
Nice.
Everybody knows where the bridge is, and that's where the water can be blue sometimes, and that's a great chill spot, have a fire, whatever. And then you can also, if you go to that beach I said on the left and you walk through the grass and all the trees, like literally for, I don't know, 20 seconds, you'll pop out to a complete other beach that faces the States. And it's just, there's so many spots.
Epic.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't been to this left side, beach side. I need to go.
Yes.
I need to go back. I'm going to go back this summer for sure. The city of Windsor hosts like a little ferry from the marina to Pesh Island during the summertime. So it's like $7.50. So it's not too bad. Yeah. But just like a great thing to do for the day during the day.
Yeah, no, and the city started doing that. I've always gone on a kayak, but the city started doing that, which is super cool. It's been great. And don't litter, please, when you're there.
Please.
That's like the biggest thing. I always like bring stuff back home.
Yeah, leave it better than you found it, please.
Because I find that the city doesn't go there enough to like change their garbages, and they overflow. And that, like, nothing ruins a spot like that more.
Yeah.
So best view.
What does that mean?
So
like,
it doesn't have to be of Windsor.
Okay.
What's the best view of anything? Like, where are you going to go watch sunset?
Okay. So sunset watching, I'd recommend to go to in Amherstburg. The tourism center of Amherstburg. It's like before you get to Front Road and Laird, I think. It's like right on this, like I cannot explain. Hold on, where's the map? So when you're driving into Amherstburg, before you get to the main intersection with Alma and Laird, maybe.
Okay.
He's pulling it up. But before you get to it, there's a little visitor center. At the visitor center, you'll have the perfect view of Boblo Island and the States, and the sunset's just perfectly there.
Okay. Yeah, no, you described that well. I don't think I need to pull it up. No, that's good. That's a great spot. I also love parking garage roofs.
Yes.
We got a few great ones.
And also by the sculpture garden. I don't know which entrance, but by the sculpture garden on the riverfront, you'll have the sun setting, and you have the Ambassador Bridge there, and it's glowing orange and absolutely gorgeous too.
Yes, for sure, for sure. Okay, so best dessert.
I'm biased because my mother is a pastry chef. Oh, well, but
plug away.
But she makes all these home goodies, deliciousness. Message me if you'd like some Venezuelan treats. But best desserts.
That's okay. You can skip. I got a few more.
I'm blanking.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. Let's skip. Best winery.
Oh, okay. I absolutely love Oxley. You have my heart. It's like a great vibe. There's great food. And it's just a great time. And when everything is blooming, it's so green and luscious. It's like, it's a fairy tale. You don't want to leave. It's a winery fairy tale.
There's not one winery in Windsor, Essex that isn't amazing.
I know. That's why it's such a hard question to answer.
Because I'm a wedding photographer, I go to so many of them. And
what would you say is the most epic photo spot for a winery in Windsor, Essex?
Honestly, they're all great. They're all great. There's no number one. But like a few of my favorites is Sprucewood, Mastronardi, Sprucewood, Mastronardi. See, sometimes the names get me. Oxley, Crew.
Oh, I've never been. I've been wanting to go.
That's a good one. Peely Island, but in Kingsville, not. Also, Peely Island on Peely Island. I was going to say,
Peely Island on Peely Island is epic.
I shot a wedding there.
Gorgeous.
Fantastic. Years ago. That was great. But then there's Peely Island in Kingsville. They don't have too many like photo spots on location.
Yes, they do. the wine barrel.
Okay,
Just
yes.
in the wine barrel, so cool.
No, that's totally cool. I mean, I'm thinking like sunset outside,
true,
like
fair,
like
sorry,
nature views. But yes, no, those barrels totally. You can definitely shoot there, and then in the front too at the Peely Island in Kingsville. There's like it's really beautiful. Sorry, I was like thinking more like sunset.
No, you're right. No, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. But if you're there, I like to go to Lakeside Park because it's right around the corner. You ever been there?
I don't think I'm gonna write that down. Lakeside Park.
That is one of the nicest top 5 for me for photo shoots, engagement sessions, and weddings. Such a great spot.
Okay.
It's in Kingsville. You can go there and then you can go have a beer after or do whatever after in Kingsville because Kingsville's great.
There's so much to do.
So much to do. But yeah, like the wineries are so beautiful. We have so many of them. I would say the ones that I photograph at the most are probably Sprucewood, Mashonarty, and Cooper's Hawk. Actually, Cooper's Hawk, great sunset. They got a little hill in the back. Nice. But I got married at Sprucewood myself. So that one's, special.
Your heart's
and then,
there.
Yes. And then Mashonarty too, because Edie's great. The owner, she's awesome. So I like working with her a lot.
Amazing.
Favorite art gallery?
Ooh, favorite art gallery. I have been to the rebrand, the Art Windsor Essex. Super love it, but I also am always intrigued when I walk down Polisher and I see Denial Studio.
Yeah,
I'm always like, oh, so cool. So I don't know if you can go in. I actually have never been during the daytime to see if I can enter, but even just from the storefront, it's a pretty cool spot.
Yeah, sometimes he'll like pop out and like you can like buy markers and stuff in the front. He used to do this thing called Part Art, Part Party.
I've been there once. Okay. Nighttime, still nighttime.
Yes,
but no,
big
I've been
party.
there.
And those are fun, man. I'm gonna message him and be like, "Dude, you gotta start throwing those again because those were like the best nights. Great party." Okay, I got another one for you. Favorite beach.
Favorite beach.
So many beaches.
I know. But you know what? Like, what's this? Is it out by you know where Scoops is, like the ice, like all the way down Riverside Drive by the marina.
Sandpoint.
Sandpoint.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, Sandpoint Beach. Yeah.
Near the marina. Near the yacht club?
Near the yacht club, sorry.
Okay, yes,
near the yacht club, a little past it. Like I find like that's just a great place to like chill and relax.
Yeah, that's an iconic one.
Yeah. But I don't think I enter much the water in these areas.
No, that's okay. You know what's another great one?
Honest.
It's like kind of newer, like the way they did the park. Oh my God, what's it called? I forget what the park's called, but if you go to Manning and Riverside, it's all brand new. They have a roundabout. They have a beach there. You can park at the beach. And if you walk up to the water and you go to the left, there is actually the beach. You can go swimming. There's a pier that sticks out that's like kind of newer, maybe like within the last 8 years. Yes, man. I need to look it up. Sorry, everybody, but I'm gonna look it up because I need to get the name of that place. I do lots of shoots there too. It's a great Lakewood Beach.
Lakewood Beach.
I knew it was Lakewood something.
We got Lakeside Park, Lakewood Beach. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a great one too. Okay.
Cool.
Now, last one for this speed round that hasn't been too speedy because no, it's not your fault. No, that was the point of the round is I wanted to kind of like talk on more like Windsor Essex things, especially with you. Cool. So favorite town within Windsor, not Windsor though.
Okay.
So like Kingsville, Leamington, anything, even like Ford City, kind of you can pick, I guess. But
I would have to say Kingsville, like that Kingsville, Essex, Harrow.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cute. Like just charming. They're small but charming, and there's things to do. Like if you're from Windsor and like you're looking for a day trip, like it's also like such an easy and accessible trip to go on, because you can just like get in a car and go. But the only thing is like that we need to get better is to get better transit, so more people can enjoy these small little towns. But yeah, that Essex, Harrow, Kingsville, Really, really cute.
Yeah, I was blessed and got to do some work for the town of Essex, and they sent me to a lot of like the wineries and like cool little shops. Like I went, another winery, Miss Paglioni Winery. That's the spot. That's a good spot. So many places like that out there, and just like different bed and breakfasts and stores. Like, yeah, you guys definitely like the Windsor or the town of Essex website has everything on there of like those little places. So it's like easy to kind of like pick where you want to go and everything. Yeah, definitely like venturing outside of the city limits to those places is definitely worth it because
and you'd be so surprised of like what you find. So you asked me earlier about my favorite coffee shop. One of my like favorite surprises that I've like had through my experience was finding 14th Coffee Co. Like in the summer, it is a place to be. Like, it is a vibe. It's on a farm and it's just so serene and quiet. And you are enjoying your coffee on a hot summer, like on a not hot summer day, but like just enjoying with the breeze, the shade that's happening. So love finding little gems like that in the county.
Yeah, I think they have I think that's an Airbnb there too.
Yeah,
right?
They've got 2 Airbnbs there. The barn is an Airbnb, and the place behind the coffee shop is Airbnb as well.
That's a great spot. They did they hosted the Moto Social, which is like a motorcycle thing, and it's kind of all across Canada and the US. Like it's like a community, and they'll do them in LA and they'll do them in Texas, and they do Windsor and Toronto. And every month I think Windsor has Tuesdays, so once a month from May till whatever September, they'll pick somewhere in Windsor, like that place, and they'll have like a motorcycle meetup.
Oh, cool. I did not know this.
Yeah.
This is cool.
The Pressure Drop's done one. Beanbags Cafe has done one.
What is it called? Moto
Social.
Moto Social.
Yeah, check it out. They're on Instagram. They're not local, but they do things here.
Okay, cool.
They've done it. Yeah, like, the Happier Camper in Amherstburg.
Yes,
Bryce, he had he hosted one of them. And yeah, that's a good time too. And it's not like super bikery. There's tons of motorcycles, but everybody's just having like a great time. That's a really fun like Tuesday night. I love getting out for those in the summer.
Well, I'm gonna have to go to one of these Moto Socials.
Do it. Yeah. It's a great time. People got like all their cool bikes and people are there shooting pictures, and it's a great event.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
So, adventure out into your backyard.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, I think that pretty much covers everything I wanted to talk about with you.
Amazing.
If there anything else that you wanted to share?
Ooh, no, I think we hit it all. I will be, Wandering Wednesday season 3 is coming out in May, ideally. Who knows? Maybe timelines get pushed for a perfect product, but or a better product, or a more polished product. So just keep your eyes out for Wandering Wednesdays, because it's just a big endeavor, the whole process of scripting and designing what a season's going to look like.
Yeah, no, for sure. Remind everybody where they can find you on Instagram.
Yes. So my Instagram is My Traveling Backpack with 2 L's. And you can also find me on my website at www.mytravelingbackpack.com. And if I missed you, or if you want an event for me to publish in my weekly or weekend event roundup, you can just shoot me a message or shoot me an email, and I'm happy to add you in wherever I can.
Yes, and I would love to have you back on maybe in like a year or so, and we can hit all the places that we missed because we feel bad.
Yes.
And go over, what you're doing now. So thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Anthony.